Hello all, welcome back to our course on digital accessibility. And today we will talk about assistive technologies. We've been talking about assistive technologies in our previous sessions several times. In today's session, what we are going to do is we will try to go through a lot of examples and the different types of assistive technologies which are there and what comes under the definition of assistive technologies. I think that is something that we will talk about in this session. So let us start at what are assistive technologies, right? So they are primarily tools which supports independent task performance. So you should see that in the definition itself, there is no mention of disability or anything of that matter. In fact, if most of us are also using assistive technologies in our day-to-day life, which maybe you don't know is also assistive technology, is our spectacles. This also comes under the definition of assistive technology. So basically why it comes, because without this you primarily probably are unable to read the whiteboard or the blackboard in your classroom or something, and basically you're not able to read near text or far things, and with the help of a set of pair of glasses you are able to read and independently interact with the written material like a newspaper or something on a billboard or a blackboard. That means that it is enabling you to independently perform a task. That is the only definition. The moment you add independent task performance, automatically you will be able to see a lot of in cases where people have complete sensory deprivation or there is some impairment, they are either dependent on other human being to help them in completing the task, or they are dependent on technology. So I like to give this example in my class also. So I'm sure all of you might have heard about Dhritarashtra, who was a blind king, and throughout the Mahabharat war, there was his aide who was a human, his name was Sanjay, who was visually describing he was seeing the war and he was describing it verbally, word to word, sitting next to him throughout the war. That what this is now, what is happening, this is happening, what is happening now, what is happening. So it's like almost like a commentary, right? So he was dependent on that human being in order to analyze the or get a real-time information, and he was not able to access the information of that war independently, right? So that is where the role of a, say, assisted technology comes in. Say had this been the same situation, now we have the technologies to kind of describe in audio or text format a scene in a movie or in a real life, and then that would be something like a digital virtual agent who will be able to describe a scene for you. So it is the same thing. So any tool, any machine, any support system which is enabling independent task performance comes under the definition of assistive technology. It can help you in improving your daily functioning, particularly in the case of people with certain disabilities or impairments. I just don't want to say that it is only a disability, because then that basically is a constricted definition. People who are, as I said, have myopia also has a visual impairment, right? And this glasses is able to help us in our day-to-day functioning. Reduces barriers in communication and learning, helps us access educational material, helps us access information in our day-to-day conveyance, in our employment areas, in accessing help, in accessing education, everything. Enhances mobility in information access. It ranges from simple tools, again, simple tools like a pair of glasses, to advanced, very advanced AI based solutions like real time speech to text and all of those, or real time generating real time description of a real world scene is also requires a lot of advanced systems to come together. Right. So there can be these, there are plethora of products which come under the category of assistive technologies. And I'm sure you might have seen or heard about these products, but probably you might have not thought about it from an assistive technology perspective. So even like, I'm sure the common ones like a wheelchair or, a hearing aid, all of those. But also like a knee brace or an automatic calendar clock, um, assistive limbs, wearable devices, all of these can help us in um, improving our day-to-day interaction with the world at some or the other level. So exoskeleton or muscle movement, all of these. So there can be visual assisted devices, hearing assisted devices, mobility, physical assisted devices, speech communication related assisted devices, cognitive and learning assisted technologies, digital software based assisted technologies, education, STEM based assistive technologies. So maybe what you can do is also do like a search if you want to kind of deep dive into any of these, if you are working in any of these domains and you would like to explore in a deeper sense in terms of benchmarks, standards, state of the art, all of those, you can kind of deep dive into individual one of them and get a hang of what are the existing assistive technologies. Still we'll discuss some of the commonly known assistive technologies. Um, One is, of course, your screen reader. We have spoken about it several times in our previous sessions. It is counted as an assistive technology. It converts on screen content into speech or braille through a refreshable braille display. It enables navigation without a mouse. We have talked about it several times in the WCAG related sessions and all of those. Um, so it is also helpful not just for people who are visually impaired, who are unable to locate buttons on a screen, but also for people who do not have gross motor or fine motor skills, people with cerebral palsy, etc. They can also interact with digital interfaces using screen readers. They can use semantic structure to convey meaning. So, of course, the common examples are NVDA, JAWS, VoiceOver, TalkBack. All of these are mobile-based screen readers, and these are system-based based screen readers. Then comes our refreshable braille displays. These are not very commonly seen, particularly in India, because their cost is still a little bit on the higher side. But I mean, there are several indigenously developed refreshable braille displays. Dot book being one of them. You can go and check it out. Actually, I was part of the team that has created the dot book, and I worked on the dot book as the product designer. So it's a good product, and you can try to check it out on the website. And so what it does is basically it's a digital device which kind of raises the braille pins line by line. So it's in a hard copy print version, what happens is the pins or the dots are raised permanently. Here the dots keep going up and down, and it can change as per the different words. And we all know that the braille letter is represented on a grid of 6, so that is what it is, right? So if one pin is up, here one pin is up, that means some letter. If these pins are up, that means some other letter. And it can keep changing according to each sentence and word. So as per a digital file which is fed into it. So basically, it's a hardware device that converts text into tactile, verbal tactile feedback, and it enables interaction for persons who are blind. Braille movable pens dynamically form Braille characters. It is used by blind and deafblind users. Primarily, it is also very beneficial for deafblind users because many a times you've seen that blind users can also use audio feedback, or as we saw the screen reader, it's like a talkback or a voiceover, right? But deafblind users cannot avail the audio as well, and then the tactile form of the written word becomes even more crucial and more important for such users. Provides private, accurate, real-time text access. So what happens with audio, it is almost non-private many a times. If you're not using a earphone at all times, it is also kind of announcing what you're reading. You may not want to do that. It supports reading, coding, web, browsing, STM, learning, exams, etc. Then, of course, we are all aware of hearing aids or cochlear implants. So they are also some of the commonly known assistive technologies to helps in improving access to speech and sounds. Hearing aids amplify and customize sound. Cochlear implants stimulate auditory nerve, enhance communication and classroom participation, highly effective with captions and visuals. Then comes our very own speech to text softwares. So it converts the spoken word into the written text in real time. So this is primarily an AI enabled system. And we have also spoken about this in the AI for accessibility session. And if you want to check that session out, you can go back and check that out as well. So one of the commonly used version of speech to text software, I'm sure there are a lot of apps which you might be aware of, particularly that offer STT facility, but now it is also embedded in your Office Word, right? So you can dictate and it automatically converts it into a text format in the real time. So it supports users with motor impairments who cannot type quickly, or learning disabilities who may have dyslexia. It may be difficult to find the letters on the keyboard or type in real time and check as well what is written, or may have temporary limitations. It enables hands-free interaction for writing, searching, or form filling. It also enables, multitasking in a lot of situations where actually people with no disability can also utilize this, assistive technology when they're working at multiple things at the same time, and they can just keep dictating. It's almost like a secretary taking notes. So of course, the good examples are Microsoft Dictate, Otter AI, and Google speech to text algorithms. Moving on, the other set of such tools is also text to speech algorithms and reading tools. So similarly, now Microsoft Word has this read aloud button, which can help you in reading a document through kind of a text to speech algorithm. And again, it converts digital text into the spoken audio, helps users with visual impairment or people with learning disabilities like reading disabilities like dyslexia and other reading difficulties. It can support multiple formats, web pages, PDFs, ebooks, documents. It integrates with screen readers most of the time. It consists of customization options like voice, speed, pitch, and language for flexible learning. It enhances comprehension and multitasking by combining audio with visual highlighting. Then we also have AAC devices, which is called augmentative and alternative communication devices. So it's almost like a multimodal app bank kind of a device, which allows you to express different emotions. You can just press buttons and express anger or happy or excited. So it supports or replace speech communication abilities. It includes low tech boards as well as high tech AC devices. It is used by people with diverse communication related conditions. It enables expression, independence, learning, and social participation. Then we also have a technology which has now become very mature and with the recent algorithms, which is called an eye tracking system. And it is not just used for reading, but now the technology has matured so much that gaze based interaction has also become very much in use. So which is again based on this eye tracking algorithms only. That firstly, these eye tracking systems detect eye movements to control interfaces basically. So if you gaze on a particular button for say so and so seconds, it enables that button. It enables hands free interaction. It enables voice free interaction for that matter. It enables and helps users with motor disabilities, extreme motor disabilities, also ALS, with extreme injuries, spinal cord injuries, and it can be very useful for people to navigate um, the interfaces using gaze, typing selection, and communication, everything. It really reduces reliance on keyboards, mouse, and everything, all of the other input output devices, and increases independence to access digital systems. It is now also being utilized in VR environments, gaze based interactions. Then we come to accessible learning tools. So then this is also more of an umbrella heading. In this, there can be multiple such solutions which are simple tools, but they help people with different kinds of disabilities. So one is talking calculator. So they provide audio feedback for numbers and operations and help students with visual impairments to perform math independently. Tactile graphics, they use raised diagrams and raised lines and textures to represent images, charts, graphs, shapes, etc., making visual content understandable through touch. Accessible e-learning platforms so designed to work with screen readers, keyboards, captions, and adjustable text for diverse learner needs. Then, of course, there are wheelchairs and mobility scooters, which are also a big, which also form a big chunk of assistive devices. They support people with limited mobility from various conditions. They can be manual or powered wheelchair scooters, and scooters that meet different needs. Accessible infrastructure like ramps and wide pathways are required so that such wheelchairs can be used. Design factors affect comfort, control, and independent movement. Inclusive mobility design benefits all users, not only wheelchair users. So, when we say this, we can also think about other, say, prosthetic limbs, and wheelchair friendly cars, so where the seats kind of turn around for the person to get accommodated inside. And then ramps, etc., in the architecture itself are also assistive technology devices, which not just enables wheelchair users but also, say, stroller users. And we have talked about this in the very beginning of the course, so that inclusion not just benefits people with different disabilities but also with varying needs. So that approach also kind of helps us in innovating around assistive technologies. So to summarize, assistive technologies include physical devices as well as digital tools. Physical devices like wheelchairs, hearing aids, prosthetics, etc. Digital tools like softwares, apps, etc. The main aim is to enhance function, helps with activities like communication, mobility, reading, writing, self-care, and cognition, promotes independence, empowers individuals to perform tasks they couldn't do before, fostering inclusion. So, I mean, this session was to kind of bring together a lot of learnings from the previous sessions into successful and implemented assistive technology or rehabilitation solutions. And again, if you are an entrepreneur who's trying to look for gaps, one way of looking at it is how we can improve the existing assistive technology solutions. A lot of companies are working in um, high performance prosthetics, for example. Prosthetics are there, but high performance prosthetics. A lot of companies are working around making, say, stair climbing wheelchairs are available, wheelchairs which can climb, ramps are also available. But can we think of a wheelchair which can climb stairs if there are no ramps? Then there can be foldable or squeezable wheelchairs which takes very less space. So all these kind of incremental innovations in existing assistive technology is also possible and that requires a lot of innovation as well. And there are several gaps which can be addressed even with existing successful products. So how we can reduce, say, the weight, how we can make screen readers more effective, more robust in the real time. So what we are seeing particularly in Indian, say for example, we were talking about the dictate tool. So now in the dictate tool, can we make it inclusive? Can we make such speech to text algorithms that they are so robust that they are able to understand the Indian dialect, the Indian accent also, or multilingual way of talking that Indians employ, which is called English, for example. So while speaking English, we have the habit of plugging in our regional language. So for example, I'm from North India, so I keep plugging in Hindi in between, or somebody from Tamil Nadu may be plugging in Tamil words, somebody from Mumbai may be plugging in Maharashtrian words in between the English. So would dictate be automatically able to convert those words in the real time in the semantically meaningful manner, and then write the supposed sentence? So all of those aspects still remain unanswered, and they can be very good opportunities for innovation. So that is all for today, and I hope this kind of ignites curiosity amongst you, and you will dig deeper and try to find out gaps and uh, kind of motivate yourself in working towards making more such assistive technology solutions or improving the existing ones. That's all for today. Thank you.